Hello, John, a happy place. Another Saturday session for you. Before I start, just wanted to say I really loved your last week projects, the mandalas with dragon paint. Amazing results. I did share them on John a Happy Place main page. So yes, keep creating wonderful stuff. This week we are combining a bit of collage and abstractish thinking. So I have this project for you, which you can do your own way. We did something similar over a year ago at John a Happy Place, and I still have examples. So just to give you examples that you can take it different in different directions. I do talk over in video about that, using different outlines for it. They could be objects like still life, they could be animals, and I explain in video how to get those outlines. Um, because it's remote session, you'll have to figure out all the elements you are getting into your figures. So use what you have. And then again, this is fully recycled project. Here we go, Amazon packaging. I used scraps of book pages and pages from magazines. But if you have pieces of fabric, wallpaper, old tickets, unused receipts, all that can be combined into your piece of art. So have fun, and I'm looking forward to see what you create again, and hopefully it'll be something you enjoy. Bye bye. Okay, let's just start with explaining how to build your mask, because you're going to be working with a mask on top of collage. So very easy, similar to the way we used in a class probably a few weeks ago when I was showing you how to scratch through oil pastels. So pick up an image or do freehand. I'll show you example how it works with the image, but feel free to do freehand. Objects like still life, bottles, teapots, cups, they work quite beautifully as well. You may want to draw them from life and then transfer into a mask. Here I just show quick and simple example with the ready image. So I have this image, I cut it out, and it's about the choice as well of your image. So because you're only going to be working with the outlines, it's about how much information you can read, visual information from the outline. And like I said before, the best way to have that guess, because here you see all the details, you don't really see how the outline itself will look or communicate without all those details. It's just to turn it and then you can see what the outlines would be like. So I had this image. What I've done, I turned it, I outlined in this part of the page, then I went back to the right side, shifted it and outlined a bit here. So actually from one image I ended up with two images. I outlined them with the paper, then I cut them out. Now the important bit is here, it's this triangle here. It's about, if I don't keep it, if I don't cut it out, then I'm gonna have all this kind of outline. If I keep it, I need to keep that little triangle and then glue that to the page as well. So it's up to you, I just wanted to show you there are different options. So what I'm doing, I'm removing those cutouts actually with the image. You may use them for your collage or different work. And this is my mask. So let's just get rid of that rectangle for now. I may use it later. So this is your mask, and what I'm going to do, I'm working on recycled bit of cardboard. That also could be any paper, so feel free to use what you have. This is the mask I will be putting on top. You may want to reverse it because it's got the lines of pen. So I may also want to cut this just to have the size that fits the mask. What I'm going to do, I'm going to collage underneath the mask in the areas that are empty with different kind of papers. So just to indicate for myself where I need the collage paper, just put that here. I'm just going to outline very briefly just to kind of, you know where the borders are, because I'll be crossing those borders because the mask goes on the top, but I just need to know where I need the paper to be. Okay, and also I'm going to cut off that bit. Okay, so I'm getting rid of my mask for now. I will come back to that. And I can see those areas are the figures. And what I'm doing, I'm going to use different types of paper. And again, we're going into recycling quite a lot here. So I'm not using, fancy designed patterned papers. If you have some, feel free to use. But I'm using old book pages. I'm using scraps of magazines, especially with the landscapes where there were some bold colors. There's a landscape like that, which also I'm going to use. I have picture with the donuts, bit of forest, crocodile, and I also have my piece of our old printmaking. So just make sure you have variety. I think book pages are good as well to use. And I'm just having those. What I'm doing, I'm creating pieces of variety of papers, patterns, or here text pieces, so I can use them for my collage. So just make sure you have variety in terms of sizes as well, and length. I have some glue. And also on purpose I'm not using scissors because I want those edges, those rough edges. They give you really interesting results. You will see when it's done. Forest. Let's get some donuts. And just prepare a variety of papers, different colors, so you have something to play about with. If you have your old artwork that you're happy to let go, like this printmaking piece, again, that can be recycled into a new piece of art. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I know roughly where the figures are going. I'm not worrying about the edges as such. That's the reason I created the mask, which I will use on the top. And I'm just going across those figures to cover where I know the figure will be visible. So don't worry about the edges, just cover where you know the figure will be. And it's about, creating different effects. So look how those papers correspond to each other. Which edge do you want to have visible? Do you want the edge with the here with the paper, or do maybe this edge? Actually, I like the first one for more. It's about that, having this different papers, old adverts, book pages, yellow book pages, all that can go, or even your handwritten notes. If it's something you want to get rid of, just include in art. So you can work, as here you can see, you can work horizontal. So I could just carry on covering that. as long as I know I get to where the edges are and over those edges. Or you can work, let's look at this figure, vertical as well. Yeah, that's another option to work. It's up to you how you want to do it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go carry on with those figures, putting those bits of paper, I think I'm going to do both of them horizontal, and I'm going to glue them, so you'll see what it looks like, and then I'm going to put the mask. So let me glue that, and I come back to you in a stage when it's all it's just glued to the page, so it's not going to be much more done than just those pieces of paper. They'll be just close to each other and covering where the figures would be and glued to the page. Okay, so it looks a bit messy, but I wanted you to see the stage for the reason, because the magic is to work with the mask. And I ask you on purpose to remove the mask and put it away when you're doing that bit, so you're not really controlling fully the outlines of your collage and how it's gonna work with the meaning of the outline. So you know the face is somewhere here, but you're not really having those outlines, so you're not able to actually control it as such. And I think that's the reason why sometimes it comes really unexpected and interesting way, rather than just knowing fully what you're doing. So coming back to the mask, which I ask you to keep, and this is the magical moment. It's basically, oh, I've got a bit glue on it, so it's gluing already. It is putting the mask on top, and you can see now why I didn't care about the edges, because the mask is doing all that work. So I need more glue here. I just wanted you to have a look and maybe cut out this bit a bit more. So you end up with this, really dynamic collage, because you knew the face was here, but you were not playing around like, oh, the eye would be here, the nose and maybe ear. You're just going with the pieces of papers. And here, look what I've done. I started kind of vertical, but then I've got bits horizontal. Here I kept everything horizontal. So, play around with those compositions, or maybe, even mix them up. Maybe have much bigger pieces and then tiny pieces, it's really up to you. So many possibilities. Glue your mask on top. I need to put those bits on, and I'm really looking forward to what works out for you. It doesn't have to be a figure, like I said. Objects, still life, flowers, trees, are great for those kind of activity. Animals as well, outlines of animals, they work beautifully. You can do landscape as well. Okay, so when you're done, post it in our group, and I'm looking forward to see what you create. Bye bye.